Bore da or prynhawn da bawb, Mrs. Palmer here. This blended learning task is to recite a poem clearly. I'm going to give you a few tips and I'm going to share the poem with you. Now this poem, if you manage to recite it clearly to your teachers by sending them a voice recording, perhaps on Seesaw, is worth 5 house points as well as your 5 dojos. Now, don't worry, this is not a competition. We normally have a poem recital as a competition for the Eisteddfod, but this is just for all of us to take part in. Remember, reciting a poem is not just reading it, thinking about expression, thinking about how you might use your voice to make it sound interesting for the reader. Now, here are a couple of tips. Can you read the poem accurately? Don't worry, Mrs. Palmer's going to help you read it. I'm going to read it a few times for you in a moment. Can you read the poem clearly? So can we hear your voice clearly? Are you using a bigger voice? Are you reciting it by speaking your words clearly? And can you read the poem confidently? Now that's probably the trickiest one, but please don't worry. Your teachers are only going to be the ones that hear you. We're not going to be sharing this with everybody. And the difference is you're not going to need to stand on stage like some children do. This is just to share with your teachers. Now, the bronze task is going to be adrodd un pennill, to recite one verse. You can choose the verse that you choose to recite. Silver, Arian, you can probably guess, going to be adrodd dau benillion, recite 2 verses of the poem. Gold, you could probably guess, is to adrodd yr holl benillion, to recite all of the verses. Now I say all, there's only 3, so you can choose the challenge that you set yourself today. Now I'm going to share the poem with you. The poem is called The Park, which is The Park, gan Zach Davis. Zach Davis ydy'r awdur, he is the author. Okay, now I'm going to read the poem for you, and I'm going to have a stop every now and again to translate little bits for you so that you know what the poem means, because that might help you with your recital. You might want to put some actions in, for example, to make it a bit more interesting. Parc, ennill 1, verse 1. Mae parc mawr iawn tu ôl i'r tŷ, ac rydw i'n lwcus. Saiclais yn y parc dydd Sul, ces I amser hapus, a bwytais picnic blasus gyda'm ffrindiau I. Now that the verse means, mae parc mawr iawn tu ôl i'r tŷ. There's a huge park behind my house, tu ôl i'r tŷ. Ac rydw i'n lwcus, and I am lucky. Saiclais yn y parc dydd Sul, I went cycling on Sunday in the park. Ces I amser hapus, I had a happy time. A bwytais picnic blasus, and ate a delicious picnic. Gyda'm ffrindiau I, with my friends. Mae parc mawr iawn tu ôl i'r tŷ, ac rydw i'n lwcus. Batiais yn y parc dydd Sul, ces I amser hapus, a daliais bêl yn gampus gyda'm ffrindiau I. There's a huge park behind my house, and I am lucky. Same first 2 lines. Batiais yn y parc dydd Sul. I batted in the park. They're obviously playing cricket or something. Ces I amser hapus. I had a happy time. A daliais bêl yn gampus. I caught the ball well. Gyda'm ffrindiau I, with my friends. Pennill 3. Mae parc mawr iawn tu ôl i'r tŷ, ac rydw i'n lwcus. Cerddais I i'r parc nos Iau, ond roeddwn i'n anghapus. Neb yn chwarae criced nawr, a roeddwn I yn nerfus, heb fy ffrindiau I. There's a huge park behind my house, and I am lucky. Same 2 lines again. Cerddais i'r parc nos Iau. I went for a walk on Thursday night. Nos Iau, not dydd Iau, not Thursday, Thursday night. But, roeddwn I was unhappy. Neb yn chwarae cricket nawr. I am not playing cricket now. And roeddwn yn nervous. I'm feeling nervous. Perhaps it's dark in the park in the night. Heb fy ffrindiau I, without my friends. So you can see that the verse 3, pennill tree, is a little bit different. It's not happy, it's feeling a little bit nervous. Now I'm going to read the poem all the way through now so that you can hear it. Remember, your challenge is to either have a go at reading verse 1 on its own, or a verse, 2 verses, or 3. Okay, we're not expecting you to learn it off by heart, but having a go at reciting it, saying it. It's different to reading. We don't just want to read it. We're trying to recite it to make it interesting for somebody to hear. So, here we go. Get myself into a nice sitting position. Put my back nice and straight. Mae parc mawr iawn tu ôl i'r tŷ ac rydw i'n lwcus. Saiclais yn y parc dydd Sul. Ces I amser hapus a bwytais bicnic blasus gyda'm ffrindiau I. Mae parc mawr iawn tu ôl i'r tŷ ac rydw i'n lwcus. Batiais yn y parc dydd Sul. Ces I amser hapus a daliais bêl yn gampus gyda'm ffrindiau I. Mae parc mawr iawn tu ôl i'r tŷ ac rydw i'n lwcus. Cerddais i'r parc nos Iau, ond roeddwn i'n anghapus. Neb yn chwarae criced nawr ac roeddwn I yn nerfus heb fy ffrindiau I. Now, that's the whole poem. That's all 3 verses. I'm going to go back and have a look at our success criteria to see what our challenge is. So, you're either going to choose to adrodd 1 pennill, 2 benillion, neu 3 benillion, yr holl benillion, all 3 verses. Remember, to recite a poem, we're having a go at reading it accurately. You can play this back as many times as you like and listen to how Mrs. Palmer's saying it. Can you read it clearly with your voice? We're not mumbling, or make sure you're sat in a really straight position and your voice is ready to go. And can you read the poem confidently? That's probably the trickiest one. Okay. Now, good luck, boys and girls. We'll be so proud of you if you manage to have a go at this. It's quite tricky to recite a poem. We'll be so proud of you, and so will your house, because remember, it's worth 5 house points too. Pob luck. Hwyl!